on a 1v1 basis, however, you're able to, oh, he's got to go here or he's got to go there. This is the most dangerous place on the pitch. And in the second grouping of examples here, we're now looking at the finesse shot, and it's all about opening up your body. You don't need a lot of power. Another very similar type of finish in terms of powering up the bar. If you don't ever use the finesse shot, RB if you're on the Xbox, R1 as I use my left hand if you're on the PlayStation. You hold it. It's just a very simple modifier. Not a problem. And the key is just getting the correct angle. Power 35% to 55% in this freeze frame. It's the same as shooting across the body. In this case, it's just opening up your body. You can see I'm at an angle. You are not going to want to shoot finesse shots across the body. And by across the body, I mean where you haven't given yourself any sort of a window or a new angle, you haven't cut inside. That's not going to work well for you. And when you're setting up the finesse shot, it still works with right-footed players on the right side because a lot of them use the outside of their foot. They have the trivela trait. People tend to do it without you having to ask too much. For example, if you were going to use a Robin again, you saw Martial do it earlier. Naturally, those players don't necessarily try to use that weak foot. They do their best to be very one-footed at times, especially Robin, even Messi, or Gareth Bale. If you have them on the opposite side, they are trying to stay away from using their weak foot. They know what's best. They know if they've been naughty or nice, and they know what to avoid. But it's just a beautiful thing. In the finesse shot, you don't have to overcompensate. Once you open up your body, that's done the aiming for you. You just have to tap it home. Your job, don't get nervous. Stay composed. Finish your breakfast. Finish your lunch. Finish your dinner. Go out for a brunch or a brinner. I just made up a brinner. I've never had one of those. So that would be a brunch dinner. I don't think that makes sense, actually. As we go into our next grouping, where I've put together the Finesse 2.0, you don't see this nearly as often, but it still has value. And there's certain scenarios, and I want to talk about those. We're still using the finesse shot. We're still not using a ton of power. And now instead of going across the body or opening up your body, you're going to take it on the near post. And we don't see this used and abused quite as often because the near post just isn't as strong. Even though after this last patch, I feel like it's increased a little bit. But first time choice, if I'm going to hit this first time, the spacing is wrong for me to go across the body. Or it's harder, it's more difficult. And that's how I'm judging FIFA. And FIFA is so much about timing and spacing, whether you're doing skill moves, executing passes, looking for the right angles for shots. You have to take a quick glance and make a decision. Because sometimes you don't have enough space to get the ball across in time. And I just wanted to show you guys another example of how to finish. Maybe you take a bad first touch and it takes you into the path where you have to shoot it same side. You have to shoot it on the near post. That doesn't mean you should miss that opportunity. And I actually feel that this near post finish has kind of came into its own recently in terms of the success rate and the effectiveness. EA just dropped a patch last week, and I think they're trying to balance the game a little bit with finishing. It's still all about the overpowered joints, but I think that's what EA is trying to do. This next example, strong rush. My opponent, he brought out the keeper, and I'm a little flustered, but just tapping it home on the near post is much easier than You see what I'm saying? Where I'm getting a little nervous and I'm rushing something, I'm trying to go across the body, I'm running out of space, and the keeper makes a save. The finesse shot can still be your friend, and you can still do it on the near post with a lot of success. I do not use the regular power shot as a near post finish very often this year. It just seems to get saved. You might be able to power it home if you really wanted to put all that oomph in there, and you're going to see something like that with the direct, but you're asking for a lot in a 1v1 situation where the goalkeeper's coming out to really, truly try to power that home, to test the keeper.